Good afternoon. My name is Chandra Williams Davis. I am a graduate candidate from Arkansas State University. I will be presenting assessment and evaluation data on my target student, Adria Golden. Adria is an 8th grade student at Henderson Middle School in Little Rock School District in Little Rock, Arkansas, with a uh, handicapping condition of ADHD. Um, she has been thought to have dyslexia, but has determined no, she did not. She has some other issues that just manifest themselves in many ways. Adria has a history of sexual abuse and abandonment that have led to many issues with her. She started her education and began early education in Marmaduke, Arkansas, where she lived with her father and stepbrothers. And mother was out of the picture, and she was molested and had to go to another home, live with her aunt till her mother was able to regain custody. And so there have been many issues. Um, Her past evaluations were spotty and were dug up, and when they finally got them in Little Rock, they brought them forward. So she has not had a formal um, evaluation in quite some time. So her next evaluation, she will have to have testing. However, her current placement this year, the 2019-2020 year, are resource math and resource English, which are 45 minutes per day in a class of no more than 6 students or 7 students. And she is in co-taught science and co-taught social studies. In observing Adria prior to meeting her, just observing who she was, she functions better in a resource class. She seems to get more flustered in larger settings and even walking in the hallway, which is understandable in a middle school. She's very flustered and seems to be overwhelmed and out of sorts. Um, she seems to be, and even her prior reports in her due process folder, teachers have remarked that she catches on well when she is in a smaller setting. And I tend to agree with that. She seems to be more comfortable in a smaller, quieter setting. I will say that my school has a notorious reputation for disorderly conduct, violence, or fighting disruptions. So I can understand why there's a lot of anxiety in her day-to-day behavior, because for the most part, we all seem to feel that way. Nevertheless, um, her most recent evaluation was brought forward, and the testing that was done was the RIAS, the Reynolds Intellectual Assessment Scale, second edition, which is administered individually for individuals ages 3 to 94. It measures intellectual problem solving and reasoning ability from a verbal intelligence standpoint, nonverbal intelligence index, and then there's a composite score. The Verbal Intelligence Index provides a summary estimate of verbal intelligence as assessed by verbal reasoning and reflecting in primarily crystallized intellectual functions. Nonverbal intelligence provides a summary estimate of nonverbal intelligence as assessed by nonverbal reasoning, reflecting primary fluid intellectual functions. And the composite intelligence index provides a summary estimate of global intelligence designed to estimate the general intelligence factor. That is the Little Rock School District definition of the test. So, in the verbal intelligence index, her standard score was 72, which put her in the third percentile, and that was determined to be in the moderately below average range. Her nonverbal intelligence index was 101, percentile 53, 53rd percentile, and she had an average scoring there. Composite intelligence index is 85, put her in the 16th percentile, which is below average. Academic achievement testing was conducted using the Woodcock-Johnson test of achievement fourth edition, and was used for measurement of her academic achievement along with standardized testing. There are 20 subtests that are used to measure curricular areas in math, reading, written language, academic knowledge, as well as measuring oral language. The specific combination of these subtests form clusters including reading skills, broad reading comprehension, math calculation skills, math reasoning, broad written language, and written expression. Um, Letter word identification, passage comprehension, she scored in the low 70 to 70, with a standard score of 76, which put her in the 6th percentile for both of those. Word attack skills, she was average with a score of 90. Sentence reading, fluency, 78, which was low. Her greatest struggles, which were very low and low average, were in the math area. Applied problems, number matrices, math fluency, mathematics cluster, broad math cluster, and math calculation skills. She struggles with regrouping. She was able to add with regrouping but not subtract. To Adria, she believes that math is just the numbers. She does not know how to make the transfer from math on paper to the real world. And the recommendation for that was that she be given more opportunities to see math used in real world instances, making purchase, measuring things for even basic things like buying curtains or measuring for curtains for your house, or measuring how big a space is to put in an appliance. But definitely she needed more practice making purchases and determining how much she would make, change she would receive in a transaction. In addition to the academic testing, social emotional behavior, because of the ongoing issues that stem from the past sexual abuse, she receives services from an outside provider that comes into the school. She also receives a psychiatrist for medication management. Adria is also nearsighted and wears glasses, and that is one of the problems, her keeping up with glasses. So sometimes she struggles with being able to see, or that's just adding one more thing that causes her some anxiety when she doesn't have her glasses, or when she does have her glasses, there's somebody talking about her. Speech and language, she was tested for speech in 2005 and did not require services. Adaptive Behavior Assessment System, ABAS, second edition, with the rating scale used to assess adaptive behaviors and related skills of individuals 0 to 89 years of age. This information is provided by teachers or parents. One teacher provided information. I think in her next evaluation, it would be beneficial to collect information from all of her teachers to see how she functions from room to room, because that would make a determination appropriate setting as well. Her teachers all report that she has a wonderful personality. She does get flustered easily. She does have a lot of anxiety, which one would expect. My greatest concern, or one thing that gave me pause to think about, was she scored average for depression, anxiety, but given her past history, what is the validity of the test? And certainly I'm not an expert or even very knowledgeable at all about psychological examination, but is she masking, or what is the validity of the testing? However, I am working with Adria these past few weeks. She is a very wonderful child, and my informal assessment gave me an opportunity to get to know her, gain her trust, and give both of us the happiness, and we're both looking forward to working with her. Thank you for listening, and have a great evening.